out, trying to locate number 4 here. 1029. Was this one it? I think so.
Sorry about that, Ron. Come knock.
No, that would have been number 2. 2. Sorry about this. I should have had it set up, but I had so many things to do today. Okay, number 3 was at 12:23. Oh, number 4. No, that's hers. Doggone it. Let's see, maybe it's down here. Nope. Well, imagine that. Well, anyway, I'm 420 Jim. Welcome to my live. Give me a minute, and here I'll probably come up with today's feature. I've got so many that it's you know, at first I thought there was going to be 7. Then there was 10. And now that she sent me a few more, it's like, wow. Come on 11th. Those are the 12th. 11th. Yeah. There's number 7. Number 6. Number 5. This one. Nope.
You know, Rhonda, he says he's leaving.
Yep, this one's it. We got her. Sorry about that. Anyhow, Scott Winslow Albert is a vet, a very disgracing vet. We've got lots of wonderful ones. I love all our vets. It's a shame he is the way he is, but we have good and bad and everything, and he's a bad veteran. And if that hurts anybody's feelings, not sorry. He has spent years and years trying to screw with me with lies and stuff and try and take me down, as he calls it. Well, that's why I'm doing this series. And if you go back, hey, how you doing? If you go back to the Scott Winslow Albert Lies Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Well, Part 1 tells you how he lied and got me, my membership took it down from the healing fields. What's your question? Because I'm getting ready to play these tapes. So go ahead with your question. What's your question? If you got a question, go ahead and type it, because I got other things to do. Well, I guess you don't want to ask the question. Here we go.
Leave, and I hope you still go to court. I hope.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, I thought she was one of the trolls, one of the funny ones. Go ahead. You know, Jesus loves you, and all the comments, they count. So please, you know, why tell my story? Go ahead and put your hatred and your stupid comments there, because you know what? Every one of them helps build the algorithm and gets the rhythm out. And my Lord and Savior, I follow. I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to do nothing like that. So you just go right ahead. And all I'm going to tell you is, you have a blessed day, and I hope your grandma gets up and your grandpa takes care of her. You know? How's that? Anyhow, Scout Winslow Albert is nothing but a lion and thief there in Greenburgh, Indiana. And for years, him and another guy, Steve Sprague, up there in Rochester, New Hampshire, took it upon themselves to try and ruin my life, because I've simply been out here trying to get all our pot prisoners out of jail and stuff. They call themselves advocates and they're friends, but they were never pot advocates. Look what they did to me. Anyhow, let's get into this tape. Now, this is him talking to a lady named Rhonda. Now, the lady named Rhonda is the one that hit me with her car in Topeka, Kansas. And the only reason that she came and accosted me that day and come after me with a car and all is because these people lied to her. And this is her message between them and her, and how they amped her up and lied to her and got her to do what she did in Topeka, Kansas.
You know, Rhonda, he says he's leaving. I hope you still go to court. I hope you still go to court. It gets it on record. What?
He's hoping that I leave, and that was in Topeka where she hit me with her car and everything. Yeah, I couldn't get a restraining order to keep what I thought was a nut away from me and all, which at the time she was. I called her all kind of bad names and stuff, which I know, and now I've apologized. She told me the whole story about her lifetime and how they lied to her and brought her in and told her what bad guy in it, and they just used her and abused her to dig up all kinds of stuff that wasn't true, and then they took it, turned it around, and are trying to ruin my life. So the truth comes out.
Once you see, that's the thing. Here's what I've told Steve. If you haven't figured this out by now, me and Steve are in contact constantly. You know, we've started you know, a lot of back and forth, and I'm filling in the pieces for him too. There's a lot of questions that he has.
How come he's got to talk for the other guy? And by the way, you know, the comment about pot is for losers. Yeah. You must be the loser. You know, pot, as you call, could save our world. It's the best medicine we have on this planet. It can make fuel. It can make plastic. It can make wood. Yeah, our bodies produce the same chemical. So why don't you get yourself an education and have a good day?
You know, he can't find the answers to. I know you do too. So we've been talking about this, and he knows a lot of the backstory. He knows my real story. He knows, you know, the truth about Woody.
What's the untruth about Woody? The part that I'm telling you? Why is he telling her he knows all the truth about Woody and whatnot, and he don't know nothing?
Or Scott. He calls me Scott. You know.
Here.
So not many people call me Scott. But anyways, yeah, we've been talking, and I come up with the idea. Here's the idea. Okay, this all started with the RV auction. Okay, well,
first he's going to say of course he claims this is all him. First he says it's from the RV auction, and then no, it's because of my coming there before years, whatever, blah blah blah. The RV auction was I was getting rid of this RV because I was tired of them. This was years back when they kept after me and my family and all this craziness come out. And I was stupid back then, going back and forth with them and stuff and whatnot. You know, I have no problem admitting that. I was trying to get rid of the cannabis and go off the road and stay with my family. And they just harassed me 10 times more. And by the grace of the Lord above, I happened to give this motorhome to a veteran that when my family lost their home 2 months later, gave it back to me. Had I sold it on eBay, which he keeps crying about that, I didn't do that. Why is he crying that? Because the good Lord used him, and I got the RV back. The veteran, when he found out my family lost the house, asked me twice, come get it, and I did. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had this. It would have sold on eBay. And had whoever not messed with the auction, it was gone. It would have been sold. I would have never had it. And what's the chances of selling it and getting it back from someone? So nobody can convince me other than it was the good Lord that is the one that intervened on that auction. Now he'll say, I bet someone used a fake account and all, and how Woody Lepage don't have a account with eBay. That's all true. Woody Lepage is a fake name. But I guarantee you, if they ever do an investigation like they should, they will find out who did the auction. And really, I don't care because they had no choice. That's from the good Lord.
Well, it started with the fight, him and I having an argument. But what a lot of people don't know is...
Okay, was it the fight or the argument or what?
That's for 5 years prior. He screwed my friends over back in Indy, high on the hill. All of these people...
I hit the wrong... he's saying that I've screwed these people over for years and stuff, and 5 years prior or whatever, and high on the hill and whatnot. If I did that, how come I keep coming? How come I kept coming back to this town and stuff? Let me get to where we was.
You know, Rhonda, he says he's leaving. I hope.
I hit the wrong button there. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that, Rhonda. So I can come knock on the Sheriff's Peak. I promise you, she went out there and she'd done something stupid. She'd figure out a way to that. People can't quit somebody. I do want to say, okay, my daughter Ashley, she may have been a heroin addict.
Nope, that wasn't it. Doggone it. I hate when I do that. I hate when I do that. I'll get back to it maybe. 10 to 2:34.
Not a public figure. You keep my name out.
Nope. No, that's another Rhonda one. That was this morning. Doggone it. Is it up at the top? Sorry about this. I should have looked down and not hit it, and I don't want to play the wrong one there. Welker, Scott, 6, 5, 4. Sorry about that.
You know, Rhonda, I nothing. Which, you know, it hurt me because that's not Scott personally. If you still go to court, it gets it on record. Once you see, that's the thing. Here's what I've told Steve. If you haven't figured this out by now, me and Steve are in contact constantly. You know, we've started a lot back and forth, and I'm filling in the pieces for him too. There's a lot of questions that he has that you know, he can't find the answers to. I know you do too. So so we've been talking about this, and he knows a lot of the backstory. He knows my real story. He knows, you know, the truth about Woody or Scott. He calls me Scott. You know, so not many people call me Scott. But anyways, yeah, we've been talking, and I come up with the idea. Here's the idea. Okay, this all started with the RV auction. Okay, well, it started with the fight him and I having an argument. But what a lot of people don't know is that's for 5 years prior. Prior bit, he screwed my friends over back in Indy, High on the Hill, Jimmy Shaw, Bill Levitt in the church, all that stuff. See, that's how I know him. That was 8 years.
Question: how come High on the Hill, Jimmy Shaw, the church, or anybody has not filed paperwork, legal, anything against me? And that was supposedly years before all this started here. Why not?
9 years ago, something like that. So, anyways, Jim swears. Now, the argument on the sidewalk, yeah, that was me. I started that fight. I went up, I knocked on his RV, told him, come on out.
Okay, go to my Facebook page, 420 Jim, FOURTWENTY JIM. It happened to come up today on a memory, and I reposted it. He don't come knock up on my door and stuff. Matter of fact, if you listen to this whole series that I'm doing here, you will hear him in a couple of them saying that I was standing on the sidewalk, that I made it look like, you know, he was messing with an older, peaceful man. I didn't make nothing look like it. The video is exactly how it's shown. He just come up with his own story. If you watch the video, you can plainly see, you know, my main door's open, my screen door's shut, the way I sit all the time when I'm in a town talking to people. And he just come walking up, blah, 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 blah. I wasn't on a sidewalk. I didn't shit my pants and run in the RV like he says. You plainly see me as he walks up, coming to my RV and rah, 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 rah. And he says that I ran in my RV and locked my door. Well, in the video, you see me actually open the screen door. And then after he's still rah, 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 of course I closed the door and put the latch on it. But he couldn't tell the truth if he had to.
Yeah, as soon as I told him my name was Woody Lepage from High on the Hill, he locked himself in his RV and hid and got his camera out. That's what you see. The optics don't look good, right?
That's what he says in this one. In the other one, it was I was on the sidewalk, I shit my pants, and this, that, and the other. But you heard him say that, you know, as soon as he said he was Woody Lepage, I ran in and locked the door. In videos, he'll say, I knew him, blah, blah, blah. Hell, I didn't know his name was Woody Lepage or Scott Winslow Albert. I only met him one time before, and that was for really short. When I first come to Indiana, he had a security business. His wife had a smoke shop. He said, "This is me in security. That's her. Nice to meet you. Have a good day." And he had to go so far as to lie and say that when he first met me, my dog sat in his lap and he fed my dog. And anybody that knows me and my dog knows that's just a bald-faced lie. Jack don't sit in people's lap.
When you see that at its face value, the way he presents it to you, it looks like I went up and I started hassling some old man who's just sitting there trying to get along with everybody.
You'll also hear in one of these where he tells how he planned coming to the motorhome and doing this. He says he's got cameras and videos, but he's never put none out. But he will tell you how he took his keys and hid them under his wheel well. He called his buddy, "Hey, I might be going to jail, pick up my truck at such and such." Yeah, all that's in this series too.
And the arguments don't make sense. What I'm saying to him doesn't make sense to you. The reason why is because we're talking about something 5 years prior. I never forgot. I didn't forget. Okay? But
Okay, 5 years prior of him outside my motorhome and stuff, and he never forgets. It ties everything into, like I said, this guy's done nothing but lie and bullshit the whole way through about the whole stories. So many twists and turns, it's unbelievable.
But see, there's some stuff that he doesn't tell you. There's some stuff that happened before that that isn't on his video, that is on mine. You know, that conversation, you know, he started out on the sidewalk. Okay, but anyways, so, you know, the optics are bad. The optics are bad, but it puts a name in a...
Oh, is that why he don't share the video? I'm on the sidewalk, but the optics are bad or something?
In a face. Yeah, he's got a name and a face. And that guy, and his name's Woody. And so when the eBay auction messes up, now I think somebody did that to him. Somebody made a fake account and did that to him. He's got enemies everywhere. You've figured that out by now. He makes enemies wherever he goes.
10 years on the road, 36 states, the only real enemies that I know of. Rhonda was one, because I didn't know her from shit, and she come after me, hitting me with her car and stuff. Scott Winslow Albert, this guy, and Steve Sprague. And of course, they're family members, which I don't know why they hate me. That's the only enemies or anything that I've got anywhere, or had anywhere. But see, he's got to puff all this up to get this lady trapped in to get her to do the things in Topeka she did to me.
You know, and somebody ran that up. And who did he pick? Well, he needs a name, he needs a face, so he picked me. I had nothing to do with that auction. I've never, other than that argument on that sidewalk, I've had no contact with this man. None.
All this series proves all that's a lie. He's had contact, not as Scott Winslow Albert, but as Woody Lepage, as Mr. Fister, and a few other accounts. And when they finally do investigate this, because I think the feds are going to get into it, they're going to find out.
You know, and that was a promise I made to Shirley, that we would let the police do it, and that way when I got investigated, there wasn't questionable messages or anything like that. So for
big mistake here, Shirley Morgan, that's his girlfriend. I guess she's got a teenage daughter. I didn't know nothing about that until I got these tapes. And she and her daughter, teenage daughter, have both gotten involved too. And to me, that's really sad, because neither one of them know me either. And the only reason that Corey, that's a friend of mine, made the post and stuff that I did, that her daughter shared and stuff, inciting people to get mad at us and whatnot, man, was done by her teenage daughter and stuff. And he openly, well, he don't openly, man, he never thought that I'd ever come across these messages. Oh, sorry, not.
For 3 years, I've sat back and just watched, and I've done absolutely nothing.
Oh, that's proven a lie. Right here, he incorporated Rhonda, and he tells you to look for, to do research, this, that, and the other, report back and forth and all. And she was doing that. They had her totally fooled about me. And when she comes forward, now they're doing the same thing about her on YouTube. Just look up The Bong Father, 1977. 300 and some videos, all lies. None of their own videos. All this supposed videos and stuff, proof that they have, nah. Just chopped up videos and pieces of me and my videos. And I can chop up a video and make it look like it's good or bad or indifferent. Anybody can. Why don't they ever play the whole video that tells the story?
Which, it hurt me because that's not the kind of person I am. I'm very up in your face. I'm very blunt, very up close and personal. And I bring it right to your face. And my girlfriend asked me to sit back but that served.
He's done this cowardly behind computers and fake all IP addresses and stuff. Y'all realize that? He told you, he hasn't seen me or this, that, and the other kind. Yeah, he's nothing but a liar.
Well, because now I get to get out here and do whatever I want. The cops don't want nothing to do with me. The Greensburg Police Department won't even pull me over. They don't want nothing to do with me. They
must be nice to live in a town. What do? Give them free security service or free construction work or what? How do you make it where a town won't look at you and don't care what you do?
They look the other way when I come down the street. They just, I've been in the mayor's office. I've had the chief of police in my living room.
Oh shucks, he's been in the mayor's office kissing his butt, and had the chief of police in his living room. No wonder I couldn't get no justice.
They don't want nothing to do with me, and they've investigated me. Everybody that Jim could ever possibly call or put.
Hang on. He's made that statement. Every person I could possibly call, investigated him, find out wrong. Okay, I've called the FBI and they wouldn't talk to me or nothing. A little later in the same tape, I think, he mentions the FBI. Why is he trying to make people think that the FBI checked him out and everything was cool? Because the FBI ain't did a damn thing. If they did, they surely haven't done their job.
Put my name in front of, has looked at me, and nobody. The Greensburg Police Department just said, we're just tired of this. We're just tired of this. Go back to work.
I wonder what they're going to say when these tapes get out.
Because I'm a contractor. I don't have. I'm home on my lunch break right now. I don't have time to sit and make videos and do.
Is that why they don't look at him and turn their head and he visits them and stuff because he's a contractor and stuff? I'd really like to know. He says he don't have time for this and video and whatnot, but yet I've got literally hours of conversation between him and this lady, and I have videos and I have screenshots of posts. Solid lies.
Do shit like that. So anyways, I didn't do the eBay auction. Now, if you go,
he can't get off of that eBay auction thing. Like I say, I could care less. The good Lord did that. Even if he didn't want to screw it up, he had no choice. The Holy Spirit got in him and said, you do this, and he done it. And I'll believe that until I was proven wrong. Surely he didn't use his own computer and stuff. But I challenge the police department to do their job. They can go to eBay and find out exactly where that IP address was come from. And I would bet $1 to a donut and a donut's a lot more expensive nowadays, you know that, right? That it has something to do with him in Indiana. I would bet money on it.
Go back and watch that video. I don't even know if it's still there. I don't know. Jim.
That's why he says, go ahead and watch that video. I don't know if it's still there. Every video I've done is still there during the auction time and everything. He's going to say that I was waving papers around and saying I got his IP address and this. None of that ever happened. That's why he says they can't find the video and all. Because it's fabricated. It's a lie to make things sound good. eBay does know who done it. They're not going to tell me. That's against the law and all. And as soon as an investigation is started, they will give it to an investigator and we will find out.
Jim's throwing papers around. Oh, they sent me his IP address. Okay, well, Woody Lepage, if you haven't figured this out by now, Woody Lepage is not my real name. It's a name. Woody was a nickname given to me back in high school, and I'm in my 50s now. I'll be 54 next year.
There you go. Scott Winslow Albert admits that he uses Woody Lepage, and it's not his real name.
Or 54 in October. I'm sorry. So I've had the name Woody for a very, very, very long time. The only reason you ever saw me use the name Scott was when I started my alarm company. when I quit my job and started my company, you don't start a legit security company on a nickname. Use your legit name to get out there, and you're legit. I spent 27 years in security. I was very legit.
How arrogant. There's lots of security companies named out there, all kinds of names, whether it be a nickname, a silly name, or whatever. That's arrogant there.
I've had more drug tests and more background checks ran on me. I was doing schools, I was doing medical centers, government offices. I was doing some really cool stuff before my son died. See, you know about my daughter. You don't? Well, I have told you about Josh getting shot. So after that, I shut things down. That's it. I sold it off. I already had my clients. I already had it lined up. All I had to do was step away. I didn't even have to sign nothing. I didn't have to do nothing. My clients were already where they were supposed to be. All I had to do was say, "These are yours," and I walked away. That's it.
Wow, what happened to that company? I wonder why that company don't exist no more or nothing.
And I come down to Greensburg, and now I'm a contractor, and I got Shirley, and I lived this life, and I thought everything was fine till he come down here. But okay, so that auction, that's not me. That's not me. I didn't do it. And we all know, anybody who knows, that eBay isn't sending a private citizen the IP address of another private citizen. If eBay was going to do anything, they would have sent that IP address to the police department so that charges could be filed for wire fraud. That didn't happen. eBay is not giving anybody an IP address. There certainly is.
Just like I said,
eBay account or.
Like I said, they're not going to give an IP address and stuff. Now, yes, you're the coughing. The coughing in the tape was, for me to listen to this the first time and tape it and everything when I did this, yes, I was smoking and I didn't realize the coughing is coming over like that on the tape. It's not intentional, but I smoke cannabis, and there's literally court papers in New Mexico that says I smoke cannabis so I don't kill people. I swear. And you can pull that up, okay? And to me, that's one of the best statements ever in the world. Because the only way that I've been able to keep under control and stay with my faith with the Lord and all, with his tree. So, sorry about the coughing, but it keeps me from being angry and stuff. Just imagine, he says 8 years. I'm saying the 4 years that they tortured me. Just imagine hundreds of phone calls, sometimes in one day. How veterans are cocked, just all kinds of stupid stuff. And then the videos all over the internet saying that that I had been arrested for domestic violence and child abuse and stuff. Hell no, none of that's true. Single parent from age 3 to 11, my daughter was mine. He tried to make a big thing on there, and I did. I made a post. Anybody want to know what I was as a parent? Ask my daughter, Bobby Lopez. He took that as a challenge and did, and she said he was a great dad.
IP address that has the name Woody Lepage attached to it is a Facebook page. Woody Lepage is a Facebook page. And it's just what they call me at the bar, right? It wasn't until it was months later that they figured out that my real name was Scott.
Now, why would somebody want to figure out his real name? And why would he be hiding his real name and all? Because when I was trying to report the first messages and phone calls, which were definitely Scott Winslow Albert, Bryson come in after the first couple of message and phone calls, just trying to string it along, which he did. He fooled all of us. We all thought, not just me, almost every one of my followers thought it was the same Scott Winslow Albert. We didn't know that someone was going to come in and pretend to be him and carry it on. So as soon as that happened, within the first day, maybe two, I think he spills the beans later on, I'll point it out. During the auction, he says that someone was calling on the phone, called me a cocksucker, back and forth and whatnot, and he's in the chief of police office. And I was accusing him. That sounded like a setup to me. But that's what Bryson loved to do in his emails and stuff, was call me a cocksucker. So that probably happened. And that was just a perfect setup because he knew what Bryson was doing and everything. I don't know. I can't prove that. But I do know Bryson is willing to go to court. Bryson's apologized to me. He not only apologized, he sent me $600 as to say he was sorry to get me home. Okay? So hopefully between this lady sending me these tapes and him knowing that he did all to me, but yet he gave $600 and apologized, that everybody will realize it ain't three bad people against a couple of good people. It's two liars that are trying to just ruin my life, and they admit that. And it's just done. If it was done through the truth, okay. But I follow God. I do. I was baptized last year. Bear no false witness against thy neighbor. And I can't go one day without them, doing that to me. But yet in, I think it's tape number 6. Don't hold me to it. But when I get to tape number 6, you will hear Scott Winslow Albert confess that he don't believe in Jesus. And that's just right and all, okay? But I do. That I do. And Jesus told me that I must keep his Father's commandments. Even though a lot of stuff was changed in the New Testaments, he clearly stated that his Father's 10 commandments are in play. Bearing false witness is one major one. And I'm not going to hell for nobody.
That's what losers they are. Okay? Jim's flashing his papers around. So here's the thing. Steve and I are going to do an expose. We've already talked about this. We don't have the details ironed out, but we're working on it. We're basically...
Me, I do everything by the fly of the cuff. I don't get with no one else and skim what we're going to say and no cut with this, that, and the other. You just do it from the fly where it's truthful. He's talking about him and Steve getting together, scamming to do something.
Basically, him and I are going to sit down and do a live interview. Him and I. A live interview. Right here, the real Woody, not the fake Woodies. Because, I know that Jim knows that Jim knows that this wasn't me from the get-go.
Same guy in the video and stuff will tell you, I didn't recognize him. I didn't know who he was. At one time, him and Shirley come, and I was talking bad about his ex, and I didn't know who they were, didn't recognize him or nothing. There's a couple times in these things you're going to hear him say that I didn't know who he was, didn't recognize him or nothing. But yet here, he's saying, I know that it wasn't him or nothing. How?
There is a video out there of Jim where Jim hits the live button before he's ready to go live. So it used to be Jim take his phone calls and he'd do them live on the air so you could hear. Well, when other people like Bryson and shit like that jumped in, well, he can't control the narrative. So he had to quit going live with the phone calls. So he had to screen all his calls. That's why you see him screen his calls. And you don't hear the lives on the air no more, because he did that with me. He invented a Woody, had this guy coming on, and basically they'd sit and call each other cocksuckers for a couple minutes before Jim would say,
Now, why would I do that? I'm screaming to the police, come check this out, come do this. Why would I make up a Woody and have someone call in and pretend to, and go? Makes no sense whatsoever, does it?
I'm done and hang, or somebody would hang up, and Jim's telling everybody that that's me. Okay, so it starts this big thing, starts this big drama, and of course everybody's following it. Well, the police knew right off it wasn't me, because while Jim is online telling people that he's got Woody on the phone, Woody, the real Woody, Scott, me, is sitting down here in the cop shop in the lobby with the captain with 3 cameras pointing at me.
I'd sure love that police department to prove that. He plainly put the police department online saying that I accused him while he was standing right there in the police office. And he's going to tell you how the chief of police is going to tell me that he told me that that's impossible when he was standing there while I was on the phone. I don't recall any of that. None of that. And, Greenberg Police Department, please show me any type video or chief of police. Would you come forward and tell the truth on that one?
And Jim knows that. Jim was told that by my chief. Dude, this can't be the guy. The guy that you're talking about is standing in my lobby right now on camera.
I dare anybody prove that. That conversation never happened. No one told me to. That couldn't be. He's standing here in my camera, in my lobby. Not at all.
He is standing in my lobby with my captain. The Greensburg Police Department knew as soon as this started, they knew it wasn't me. You know, I've gone down and turned myself in.
Is that why they wouldn't investigate or nothing? Because they write off because of him being an alarm that it was not him? How come when it wasn't investigated?
Fan, I've let them, here, you can have my phone, you can have my laptop, here's a password to my social media, you can do whatever you want. This isn't me. They know that. They've known that since day one. That's why they won't arrest me. Not because I'm a narc. Are you serious? A narc? Man, I hang out with bikers. You know what happens? You know what happens when bikers find out you're a narc? You end up in a ditch somewhere. Okay? I run with a pretty rough crowd. You know, and we don't do narcs. See, that's the thing. And being an activist, he claims he's an activist. You support marijuana, but you go and turn people in for, like Steve.
I ain't turned nobody in for no marijuana, and he'll say that I turned him into Social Security, and I've never turned nobody into no Social Security.
He's trying to cut his disability. I just see anyways. What I would like to do at the end of the video, Jim is really good about flashing around $1,000, right? That's what he did to you. Flashed around $1,000 up. I
happen to have, at that time, and I forget what it was, how I'd got it worked, whatever. It wasn't a donation for sure. And they come out with Lady Rhonda and whatnot with these pictures saying that I'd been arrested for child abuse and domestic violence. And I'm like, I'll give anybody $1,000 that can prove that I was arrested for that. Not even convicted, just arrested for that. And of course, they put this all over the internet, and this, that, the other. Rhonda herself, the lady that I got these tapes from, will tell you that she didn't send them that. She sent them a divorce paper that plainly said that the money was divvied up between these different programs. And she even highlighted it. And I just asked her the other day, and got on tape, Rhonda, who highlighted the program and the money amount? And she said, I did. Okay? She didn't tell them that I was arrested for domestic violence or child abuse. If the idiots could read that paper, it was a divorce paper. And let's say I paid $500 for the divorce. $5 or $6 went to this program, $10 or $12 went to this program. Everybody gets a piece of the pie. That's how it works in Ohio. But they were telling, and it's still out there on the internet, that, you know, I was arrested or questioned for child abuse and domestic, and none of that ever happened. None of it. And that's why Rhonda's coming forward, because she finally figured out that these are all lies, and then they're using what she gave them and twisting it around.
Oh, bring it. I got $1,000 for anybody that can, and that's what you did. And you know what? You didn't even ask for the $1,000. You just handed the papers and walked away.
He's laughing to about her. Hey, you didn't even ask for the $1,000. You handed the papers and walked away. Yeah, she set me up. They had her con to set me up at the where I was parked that day. She sat in her car and watched me. And when I went in the store, when I come out, boom. And I was following her with the camera. Hey, cunt, what's your name? What's your name? I just wanted to get her in court. And then that's when she backed out and then come forward and bumped my legs with, I'm thankful she slammed on the brakes, and I'm sure she's thankful too. But when the cops come, they even changed the name, my legal name on the police report. They did not put the name and address and stuff on it. They didn't even put my legal driver's license. They put some fake Colorado driver's license on the police report. How the hell is that a court document, or why does that don't mean nothing to no one? That's why I'm going to Kansas to sue them this year, because of what they done.
He looked like such an idiot. The look on his face was, you did him, oh my God, I can't believe you did him so good. I'm so proud of you. I really...
She's so proud of them lying and setting her up in this instance and whatnot. That's why she gave me these tapes, bless her heart. I'm glad that she finally figured out who the liars were.
I'm sorry you're going through this, but I really am proud of you for going and doing that. You know, you got bigger cojones than most men I know. So anyways, Well, Rhonda, I got $1,000. I got $1,000 sitting in my bank account right now. And here's my wager: $1,000 for paperwork proving that I did that. Because he claims he has it. He flashed it around in front of the camera. I got paid.
I never claimed he did the auction and that I had the paperwork. That he did the auction? Yeah. It only makes sense. And like I say, had I not ended up with the cannabis, it would have been all over the internet and everywhere, all over about how he got it taken away. How come somebody messed with the auction and nobody bragged about, well, I messed with the auction, you know?
Paperwork. eBay sent me paperwork. Okay, well, I got $1,000 for copies of that paperwork proving that I did it. He'll bite.
The only reason he can offer that is because there's no paper.
He'll either bite or he'll make excuses. Because he wants the money. He'll want the money. I have the money. I have the money. I won't lose it. I won't lose it. You want to know why? Because I'm not the one that did that. There is no proof. There is absolutely zero proof. They already know that.
There's no proof because he used another IP address, his girlfriend done it, whatever, who cares? Like I say, the good Lord above done it. But it would be nice if they did find the IP address and tied it back to him, Shirley, or one of his immediately partners there. That would be funny. Because then everybody know he ripped me off for that $1,000, remember? But of course it's not a paper.
The police department, that state police know that. The FBI knows that. eBay knows that.
The FBI know that. See, remember? I said he said the FBI? Now, how does the FBI know that he didn't do any of this stuff and they never contacted me for my side of the story or anything? How in the world does the FBI know that?
That they all know that I didn't do that. So it's a sure thing. It's a sure bet. See, I'm not a gambling man. I'm not a gambling man. If you ever see me gamble, don't take the bet. It's a sure bet. I'm not a gambler. I like my money. I like my stuff. I don't.
I'll make a bet right now with him. I bet he never guessed in a million years that I would have these recordings. I'll make that bet.
Gamble it away on chance. So I'm pretty confident that, and it's going to call him out. So we figure an hour video sitting down, and Steve's going to let me tell my story. And then you can hear, we'll go back to the beginning, go back to the very beginning, 8 years. Back to see the people that follow him now are not the people that were following him then.
Whoa. See, like I say, he can't go a couple minutes without telling lies. I challenge anyone to go to my Facebook page, 420 Jim. Come there 7 o'clock at night, Mountain Standard Time. I do a live. And you'll probably find one or two that's been there the whole damn journey. The whole damn journey. There's more, but I can give you one off the top of my head. Frankie Archuleta. The very first time that I came to Colorado in 2014, he's been following me since. There's a few that follow me that aren't even on my friends list. They're just following. Why? Because of this stupid torment over the years. And they vowed to go after any of my friends and stuff. I can prove all that. So I don't hold it against none of my people that they're following me and stuff. Go look at my followers. There's a lot of followers that's been here the whole 10 plus years. That's easily proven.
So he gets to tell a different story. He's got a different group. He's not dealing with people who were following him. Corey wasn't following him back then. Corey's a Johnny-come-lately.
True. Corey was not following me in the very beginning, 8 years, 9 years ago or whatnot, but he was a good follower and followed me long before the incident that he's talking about between him and Curly when all this fight come in. Corey, Jessica, or Robin, any one of them were just defending me, knowing that this guy was doing nothing but telling lies. Corey lived right down the street from the healing fields. He was the closest friend I had. Robin was going to go down there and get the information, but come to find out, she was a board member, and I've got it on tape. Go watch the first one. He threatened the healing fields and stuff if she said anything. He threatened that. You can't talk about other members and not this, that, and the other. That's all on tape, which that's true. And it's a shame because I helped that vet out a lot for her to turn her back on me, but now I know why she had to. And, had he not done any of this, see, none of them will take responsibility. The only reason Corey, Jessica, or anyone said anything to them is coming in my defense, knowing that they were lying and stuff.
These people are. All right? These people were following him back then. So, like you have found, I'm going to speculate, you haven't told me this, but I'm going to speculate that when you go back, there reaches a point where the things just get weird and there's no explanation, and right? Like the High on the Hill thing, the Church of Cannabis.
Him telling her that, this is according to her, him telling her that, and me always saying, just go back to my videos beforehand. Look at the Bong Father before he ripped Jessica off for $400. He loved me, come up to my town and whatnot. And everything was great until he got called out for the poor. And then all of a sudden Stan Stanley popped up and we found out that was him. She was fooled. She was duped. But between these calls and stuff right here, this is when she got smart, figured things out, got a hold of me and said, "Poor, I am so sorry, so sorry. I know you didn't hurt your dog. I know you didn't try and get his wife fired. They were lying to me and whatnot." And then Scott Albert got into it and whatnot, and woo, everything blew up. And I went and I searched like you said, and I found out what they're telling me was totally a lie. And she, like Bryson, got a hold of me and apologized to me and asked for forgiveness and stuff. And of course I'm going to give forgiveness. I tried to give these ones that are still doing it forgiveness. They won't take it.
There's no context there. All you have is Jim's story. And there's nobody to talk to. There's nobody to ask. See, like now you can go check on things, right? See, like some of his past you can check on his.
Whoa. Now see, he says there's no one you can talk to, no one you can check, no one that can do that. And all that's nothing but a total lie, because I invite anybody, come to my Facebook page during my live or write me a message or whatever, and I will hook you up with these people. People that's been there since damn near day one, at least 2014, when I first come to their town. I've got followers from way back to when I first come to their town in 2014.
Paperwork and stuff like that.
But he never knew that I'd get these recordings and could prove everything that comes out of this man's mouth a lie.
But you can't go check on High on the Hill. Okay? Desi survived Jim. Jim spent 2 years trying to get that business shut down.
Now this is where he brings in his ex-wife. And yes, I will track her down and file a court suit unless she gets a hold of me. I'll give her the chance like I do others. Please get a hold of me, Desiree, and give me a statement that what he's saying in this statement here coming up is nothing but a lie. Because he said that I had her in the hospital, I had her business shut down, I made her get her phone, blaming all this stupid stuff, and all that's a lie. I got to hear that from her lips. And we either going to hear that in the court of law in her testimony, which I've got lots of other tapes and stuff, or she can just simply come forward and say, "Look, I don't want nothing to do with this. No, I don't know what he's talking about." And then me and her would be cool. She can go about her life and I'll go about mine. But other than that, no, I'm coming after every one of these people in court. Every one of them.
He gave her 2 years of hell. So much so that she went to the emergency room several times for anxiety attacks. She had to turn her phone off, had to shut her Facebook page down, website down. She had to close the business there for a little bit. He did her dirty. And she's going through a breakup with me.
She was going through a breakup with him, and I did her all this dirty for these 2 years. They were broke up. When I came and spent the $3,000 that he's going to claim that she brought the bands in and stuff, it's all a total lie. I can prove every bit of it. He says I come 2 weeks early and all bullshit. She had me come from Budds Creek to there. I come with $3,000. I paid for the bands, the music. I paid for everything. All she did was cry. I didn't know that they had broke up. Had I did, I would not have ever went there. Come on, use your mind. Going to try and throw a event in the middle of two people that, none of that. I didn't even know until I got there to Indiana. She forgot to tell me when I was on my way and all that she was having trouble with her ex and stuff. But see, he's got to put me in the middle of all that, and I had not a damn thing to do with it.
I wasn't much help. I was a jerk. I'm not always the great guy that you think I am. right? When you cohabitate with me and you got to share a box with me, I'm not always the nicest.
Would you like to hear her opinion about how great he is now and all? If you would, I can get her to make a tape. They'd probably take it off the internet, though.
You know, so I wasn't much help to her. But Jim got in the middle of that, too. So he not only tried to shut down her business, he took conversations between him and
I dare anyone, Desiree, him, or anyone, come where are these conversations? And why would me and him have conversations about his ex and then me spread them on the internet? Why would any of that happen? It didn't. It never happened.
that I thought were private, and he put them online, made them public. And
Where are
said,
they?
this is what Woody has to say about his ex, and put them out there. She saw them.
Why would I do that? They never put anything on the internet about her and him split up. How could I put, this is what Woody thinks of his ex? And I dare anyone to illegitimate. I mean, you can make them and type them and fake things, but, you know, back to my IP address or this and that, no way in the world that happened.
Oh, I got a phone call. Oh, you better believe I got a phone call. And as soon as I took that phone call, I took it right on the chin like a man, yep. And as soon as I hung that phone up, I hit him up, and he's deleted all those messages. He hasn't deleted mine. But if I go back and I look far enough, because I don't delete shit. I don't delete anything. I keep everything. I even keep old hard drives and broken phones. I have a box of them. Because
how come he can't never prove anything that he said? And I've always brought the meat to the table, just like this.
Because one of these days I'll fix them and there'll be pictures and screenshots in there that I'll need somewhere. You know, I don't delete anything. You know, so, but I had that conversation. I tell him, you come back to town again, I'll fucking kick your ass.
Open threat, if I come back to Greenberg, he's going to kick my ass.
How dare you do that? How dare you do that? All right. So there's a story back in Indy that you need to hear. There's a story that you don't know, and I do because I was there. He thinks he knows so much about Bill and the church. I go way back. I go way back with Bill Levin. I was sitting on the tailgate of a pickup truck out in the parking lot of High on the Hill with Bill Levin when he turned and looked at me and said, "Woody, I'm going to start a church. Call it the First Church of Cannabis." Why? Because our governor at the time, Mr. Mike Pence, you've heard that name before, right? See, he used to be my governor. Well, he did some religious law bullshit where churches get to do this, but other people don't. And you know what? Bill said, okay, fine. I'll start my own church then. And he did.
And that's how I heard of First Church of Cannabis. Not through Woody and his friend and whatnot. And he's right, I guess, that their smoke shop, Bill Levin sat out there and said he was going to do that. When I met Bill Levin through these people, I brought the cannabis over, I helped them. The neighbors they don't like their church. And they would, every time they had service stuff, they would, or people over, they would move a canopy doing a protest, you know. And when I was there, they asked me to move the bus to block them. Because when I first come, I pulled to the back and blocked where they were sitting. So they moved their stuff to the front, and I moved up to the front to block them. I mean, I tried to help this church and everything, but I will not build something on a lie. Back then, Mr. Bill Levin told me, and he told all of his followers and stuff, this was before he opened the doors, if you support me and donate to get this church open, on opening day, I am going to light up a joint, get arrested, and fight for our rights for cannabis here in Indiana. And I'm like, yeah, right on, my type guy. He's a liar. Never happened. Had I known he didn't have the cojones, I would have done it for him. But to me, that's a liar. He's never done that to this day. That church was built on lies. That's when I took the sticker off the side and said, I no longer can support the Church of Cannabis. And I never will.
But hospitable to this man. He came up to this town. Nobody knew him. Nobody had seen him. Nobody knew nothing about him.
Now, listen to this. I came in this town. Nobody knew him, never heard about him, seen him, or nothing. That's true. That's the very first year I came. And that's when they put me in the Fountain Square Parade and everything. That's when people learn about 420 Tim. I went on out to Washington, D.C., did my thing, and said, oh, shit, well, and I get a call, well, not a call, messages from the Master of Ceremony, MC, of the Howard County Healing Fields, begging me to come to Indiana to a veterans event. I'm not a vet. No, we want you here. It's open to public. Get here. We need you and your dog to help fight for us and whatnot. Yeah, see, he forgets I got all these tapes. I got all this and everything. And he ties in because I had no proof that Jimmy Shaw was tied in or anything until Scott started running his mouth.
And we invited him to our place, our hippie shop. Let him park in our parking lot. We're gonna put an event on. And he did the same thing he did the same thing to us that he did to Steve.
Nobody knew me. How did they invite me there? How were they gonna put this event on? And why didn't they? What event? The only event ever associated with me and High on the Hill was the event that I put on. It was supposed to be me and High on the Hill. But, oh, no, they screwed everybody and everything. And that's all on the internet. You can go watch that. The First Church of Cannabis just snidely went over there, and they didn't do their opening ceremony or nothing. They called and canceled the bands and stuff and told them I wasn't going to pay them. They wouldn't let us use that half of property like we were supposed to. Yeah, that's the Bill Levin and the High on the Hill and stuff. Just go back and watch the tapes of the event. And the sad thing is, I knew I was going to lose the $3,000. That's why I came and spent it and done it. The only person they hurt was the homeless. Because when the people didn't come, because the bands didn't show up and stuff, the homeless didn't get very much at all. Not very much at all. But that was the event. Bring one item. The poster even said one item for the homeless. Could you imagine if they did like they said and promoted and whatnot instead of blasted and whatnot? What would have happened? But the First Church of Cannabis got really, really pissed off because the higher fellowship was there. And I gave kudos to another smoke shop and bar, and that's exactly why they did what they did. But they will never admit that.
And Amy shows up 2 weeks early and expects us to pay for everything.
How in the world did I show up 2 weeks early? I want this owner, Desiree, to let me know which event they're talking about and everything. See, he confuses two stories with each other. Now, I came to Indiana 2 weeks early for the event, yes. Not their event. The event that I came and paid for. And it wasn't 2 weeks early. You don't come there and put an event on the next day. I came there, had to find the bands, had to print the material, had to nail down what was supposed to be a weekend event when I was lied to on the phone, that finally I had to concede to a one-day event. In the beginning, they lied, told me there was going to be camp and all kinds of stuff that I could do. But once I got there at the money and stuff, none of that was true. And all you got to do is go back on my Facebook page, and you can see all that. So why he lies about this, I have no idea. It's got to be the event he's talking about, and she didn't pay for one damn thing. I got the receipts for every bit of it. How can they say that? Then he's going to say they collected food and cash and stuff, so I didn't leave town without nothing. Lying sack.
Well, the guy had no money. Desi spent all this time putting a show together, hired people, and it was embarrassing. She had to shut this. There was no show. She had to cancel it. Had to tell people. Hell, one guy, it was bad.
Yeah, Desiree's going to have to come to court and show which show this is that she canceled, that she was throwing for me and everything. Yep. He says he's real good friends with his exes in one video. In another video, he says none of his exes like him. Well, I hope she tells the truth.
The people at the church, they took up a donation for him. They took up a collection for him. That man left out of there with money, food, and clothes. All right, and his dog was fed. That little dog, his Jack, I've held that dog in my freaking lap. I have fed that dog while sitting in my lap.
Okay, now anybody that knows me and my dog knows that's just a bald-faced friggin' lie from hell. This dog is not a lap dog. He don't sit in no one's lap. He don't sit in my lap. Now, if I want him to, he will. And the same with one other guy. His name was Roy, and he's no longer living here. But my ex-girlfriend, anyone, There's nowhere in the world a picture or any time that Jack sat in anyone's lap. And he damn sure didn't feed my dog. But see, to get to her, because they told her that I've terrorized, I abused my dog. There's videos of that and stuff, just pure lies. But when she figured out the truth, she come forward. But how dare him say that my dog sat in his lap and he had to feed him? And then he's going to say how nasty and dirty I was, how the motorhome stunk and all. Well, if that's so, if this is the first time you've met me and you put on this event you canceled because I come 2 weeks early, how come I was invited back and how come I got to come to do my event there years later? See, it's not only one time at High and Hill. I went there 3 or 4 times. So all of his bullshit just don't make sense. Especially if I was that dirty, that nasty, the motorhome smell, why in the world would you let me come back and be associated with that smoke shop?
The first time I saw that dog, it was underweight and scroungy and dirty, and RV stunk like hell. He was dingy. The shirt was dirty. The RV stunk. He's unkempt, disheveled. There's all kinds of names for people like him.
But yet I was being invited back to High on the Hill. So, but like I say, he didn't know nothing about me or nothing. When I first met, he introduced, I'm the security guy, I do this thing, she does that thing, and see ya. Never had no contact with him other than him outside my motorhome beating on the door years later.
He talks about,
But the reason he's doing this is, like I say, she's real sensitive to animal abuse, and she's real sensitive to man abuse. And they know this. And that's why they're telling her these stories and harping on her like that.
Woody's a meth head. You ain't got no teeth.
Now, yes, I did say Woody's a meth head. I never said nothing about he ain't got no teeth. The teeth comes in because they, all the time, ever since it started, joke about my teeth. I don't care. But I never said nothing about his teeth. Yes, I call him a meth head. Why? Because when he's outside my motorhome, he's wah, 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 skinny, wired out. And I'm like, dude, did you get a hold of some bad meth? And his exact words, I may have. Not, I don't do meth or blah, blah, Yeah, I may have.
Hear that? Hear that? I got teeth. I got my teeth. It's funny a guy with no teeth wants to talk about somebody who has no teeth. But I don't mind, because that's the way he is. So there is a lot. There's a whole lot that you don't know about. It's taken me.
And a lot you don't know about and how he is. In another tape, he talks about his deceased daughter, and I am really sad about that and everything. She died of a heroin overdose and whatnot. But he cries into her heart about how, he went down there and unplugged the machine, and they mailed her ashes back. And when he got home one day, there was a box set on his porch with his daughter's ashes and all. And that's very tragic. I'm sorry that happened and all, but, part of that story I don't believe at all. Okay? And that's tragic to have happen, wouldn't you think? Okay? Now, let me tell you something about mine. Not for sympathy or nothing. But this guy and these others, they know that in the 80s, my mom was murdered on Christmas Day. And they know that Christmas season stuff's just not my thing. And I didn't mind when they sent, a gay magazine or when they sent dog shit. But come on, the United States Post Office shouldn't have nothing to do with this. And what I'm about to show you should never, ever, ever be able to be sent in the mail. Because this is no damn joke. But see, that's what this guy thinks. He asked for your sympathy and all, and he thinks it's a joke. But this year, 1 week before my mom's anniversary of her murder, I get sent this. Now, I have good postmen here, and this is why I doubt that part of his story. There was no way in the world my letter carrier was going to put this in a box and let an old man go out there, open the box and see this and maybe fall down of a heart attack. Who knows? Who knows? She knew it wasn't real. Had to be a joke or something. So she comes and to my door and I come out and she says, this has got to be a joke or something. As soon as I seen it, I said, oh yeah, that's definitely a joke. My mom's murder's coming up. Yeah, it's a joke. Nice joke, huh? And she said, well, I knew it wasn't real and I wasn't going to put it in the box, blah, blah, blah. When cremains come through the mail, one must sign for them. Now, in his story, he's either admitting to illegally sending ashes through the mail because he don't say someone signed for him, total surprise. Or, he did sign for him and it wasn't a surprise. But see, they like to do this stuff with me, but they like to ask for sorrow and whatnot on the other when they started everything. Had they simply left me alone, none of this could have ever happened. My mission was to go and get all our cannabis prisoners out of jail, destroy everybody's record, and make it federally legal for all. I didn't have time for this bullshit. They made me have time for this bullshit. Do I feel bad about, doggone it, do I feel bad about getting wrapped up in it and everything? Yes, I do. I certainly do. But, yep, I went and did that again and hit the wrong button, doggone it. But it was the one above, and now I just got to find the time.
So, me and Steve figured out a way to expose this. And the thing is, he can't delete us, he can't block us, or what I expected, but it was still golden. It was absolutely. He's like, I said everything I need to say. I'm happy with that.
Oh, that was the meeting. That was probably not the same one. Let me go back a little bit and see. I'm sorry.
And as soon as I took that phone call, I took it right on the chin like a man. Yep, it's Jim's story. And there's nobody to talk to. There's nobody to everything. It's a sure bet. See, I'm not a gambling man. I'm not a gambler. Watch this. Steve's been dealing with this for 3 years. And there's nobody to talk to. There's nobody to ask. See, like now you can go check on things.
This is the one.
Right? So like some of his past, you can check on his paperwork and stuff like that. So you can check on that too. Okay? Desi survived Jim. Jim spent 2 years trying to get that business shut down. He gave her 2 years of hell.
Sorry about
so
that.
much so that she went to the emergency room several times for anxiety attacks. She had to turn her phone off, had to shut her Facebook page down, website down. She had to close the business there for a little bit. Like, he did her dirt pay. And she's going through a breakup with me. I wasn't much help. I was a jerk. I'm not just like you're going back and finding these things, right? Well, if you report them and they get deleted, well, you can't find them. Leave it there. Stand behind your words. All right? And it's not getting the videos reported. You're kind of hurting me when people report. I'm not saying you are, but when people report the videos and they get taken down, okay, well then the cops can't see it, we can't see it, the lawyers can't see it, nobody can see it. It's not there anymore unless we copied it. And I'm working on that. I'm working on a way to not send links, to actually save the videos on a hard drive. But I have copies of his videos with the screenshots in them. And I'm okay to go down here to Walmart and buy a terabyte hard drive and just fill it with Jim's videos and screenshots of crap. And I don't need my computer because I just got my computer back the other day. All right. So anyways, that's what we're working on. But there's a lot more to the High on the Hill and the Church of Cannabis Bill 11 thing. There's so much more to that than you know. And his version of it's not close. So we're gonna bring that out. We're going to bring that out. It's going to come out. And he will not be able to take the video down. And we're keep copying. So even if the video comes down, we'll do it live, but it'll be posted. We're going to do it live between us. Then we're going to save it, and then we'll repost it later. So you won't watch it live. You're going to watch it later. That way, if it does get taken down, we still have a copy of it and put it back up. So that's where we're at with that. It's kind of long here. I'm going to go off here and eat my lunch.
Did you catch that? If the video got taken down, violated or whatever, they just put it back up.
I think Shirley's in there in a meeting. She works from home, so I ought to go in there and give her a hug and a kiss and all that. But yes, there's what does it say? More pieces coming together. Well, there's more pieces coming. There's so much that I haven't shared with you. But we're going to get this out there. And then we're going to hashtag the hell out of it. Every time someone types in hashtag 420Jim, our video is going to pop up. And it's going to be our story. It's going to talk about me. It's going to talk about Steve. It's going to talk about you. It's going to talk about Bryson. It's going to talk about Corey and Jessica and all these other losers.
I guess
right?
that's farther to the end than I thought.
And Jessica lives down, and Corey lives up north of me. Jessica lives down south of me.
Here we go. We might be getting into new territory. This is the Corey and Jessica.
I mean, I think Trent lives here in Indiana somewhere too. I ain't worried about them. I am not. Corey's had 2 years to come down here to Greensburg and do whatever it is that he thinks he's going to do. The fact that somebody sent a message to his daughter and pissed him off. He said, "Well, I'm going to let my father-in-law handle it." Well, wow, really? You're a tough guy. You're a tough guy, and you're going to let your father-in-law handle it. So basically, he's going to pass the fight on to a guy that's older than me to come down and take care of me. Well, that's not going to work well. So there's some things coming down the pipe. We're working on it. And last night isn't what I wanted or what I expected, but it was still golden. It was absolutely great. Watch.
The last part of this, he's going to tell you about the meeting that I went to try and discuss about why the cops didn't take my name serious and everything when this lady hit me. Okay? This is what he's referring to coming up there. I spent 3 hours in there waiting to get a chance to speak, okay? Out of his own lips, he's going to tell you, as soon as I left to go take a piss and look outside and my vehicle was still safe and come back, which wasn't a total of 3 minutes, within 45 seconds of me getting up and leaving that door, according to him, they adjourned the meeting.
He meltdown. He's trying to blame everybody else. He walked out. Who sits there for 3 hours? All right, listening to 3 hours of mill levy. I still don't know what a fucking mill levy is, but boy, I got a good understanding of the math behind it after listening to all that, whatever all that was last night. Honestly, your town board, I've watched a lot of stuff like that. I follow a lot of First Amendment audits, school board meetings, all this gender shit going on in schools. I think it's disgusting. So I watch a lot of these meetings. You actually seem like you have a really good town council. Everybody seemed above board. Everybody seemed professional. It got snarky once or twice, but you're going to have that when you have two people that agree. But for the most part, it seems like, your town council there seemed pretty level-headed and decent people. I couldn't see that man lasting more than 10 seconds, even if they did let him speak.
Even if they did let him speak, did you catch that? It was a total setup why I wasn't allowed to speak at that meeting, but I was all over it. And I said what I wanted to say on the way out.
God, can you imagine the mental gymnastics needed to come to that conclusion that that's what you did? You walked out literally 45 seconds before, 60 seconds before they called your name. And 1 minute he says he's going to go check on the RV. The next minute he says he's going to the bathroom. And then Shirley says there's somewhere else where he says, I got to go meet Tom.
He brings his girlfriend back into it. First he says that, and that's exactly what I did. I went to take a piss. I'd been there, even according to him, 3 hours. There's other people that's supposed to speak and everything. They seen their opportunity to end the meeting and not let me speak. And that was the mayor's goal and all, and they did it. And this easily proves it, and I'm over it. No big deal. Go watch the videos and all. You can tell. Now that this truth is coming out, you can tell. And that's why I'm going to go sue the city of Kansas this year.
No, Tom can find his own frickin' way. You need to...
Oh, and his girlfriend Shirley said that I was looking for Tom. I'd love to see that video, that statement anywhere. Tom didn't come to no meeting. Tom don't live in Topeka. Tom lives outside of Topeka ways. If Tom was going to come to that meeting, Tom would have been sitting there with me. And Tom would have went out and checked the cannabis and stuff. See what I mean? They've got to just throw in lies everywhere.
You need to be right there in the public comments and do what you said you were going to do. So, honestly, I think he...
Hey, I've signed up and all. They know I've been sitting there for hours to speak. Why would you adjourn the meeting? And it wasn't fully adjourned. When I come back in there and the cops said, they're adjourned, and I went right past them upstairs, they were still talking. And as soon as I walked in the door and went back to sit down, he said, we're going to wrap that up and adjourn the meeting. I'm like, told you I don't want to speak. Well, we're getting ready to adjourn the meeting. Nope, blah, and hits his gavel. And then I said what I said and how they ruined my mission and stuff. The rest is history.
He did that intentionally because he needs a way out.
Why in the world would I do that intentionally? Why would I sit there and I need a way out? Why? That don't even make sense. The story of me and the city not wanting me to talk and be on their cameras and all that, that makes a hell of a lot more sense. Just like they didn't want to put my name on the police report.
The Bryson thing fell through. The Rhonda thing fell through. He knows, it's all talk. He knows damn good well he ain't getting nowhere with you. He sat there for 3 hours and watched professionals talk like adults, and it messed him up. It messed him up because he thought he was going to get up there and get all crazy, and those people wouldn't entertain him for 3 seconds.
Right from the horse's mouth. Wouldn't entertain me for 3 seconds. I like how he describes how they looked at me and stuff.
And if you're watching, you can tell. You can tell they're looking at him. You can tell when he walks in, he goes out and he changes his clothes, and I don't know why he'd leave.
I didn't change no clothes.
I would never leave a meeting like that. I watched everything. I listened to every word in that meeting, even like I said, 3 hours. It had nothing to do with Jim. So anyways, it is long and it's complicated. Yeah, I don't think he's done. And Shirley called that last night and this morning. She said he ain't done.
What do you mean I ain't done? I came, after that, I went off the road to Awesome Possum and did nothing to no one. And I've been off the road since. So you would think that they'd stop and they'd quit. They say I've never quit. I went off the road. No, I wasn't doing nothing. They're the ones that would not quit, and they keep it up. They send police for welfare checks, and they say they will never quit.
Ain't done. He'll go somewhere. He wants boo-hoos. He wants some hugs. As soon as someone donates him fucking $5, he's going to be all over this again. As soon as someone donates him $5, he's going to be right back to putting letters in the window. And you know, myself, Steve, and Shirley, you may have figured this out by now. If not, I'm sure Steve's talked to you about it. I know you guys talk often enough. Steve's family doesn't want him down there. Look at what he did. I don't know if you go back to when he was in Colorado.
Now, he's talking about me. Okay, when he says Steve's family don't want him, he means Jim. I'm the one in Colorado and was with my family and whatnot. Now, listen to what he says, how my family didn't want me. I live in a shed and this and that. None of this makes any sense, and none of his damn business anyway.
He was a fucking pain in the ass. He was a complete pain in the ass. He's living in their shed, out in the backyard. He's got that RV. At first it was parked in the driveway, and the city come by and said, you can't do that. It's an eyesore, so he parks it on the street.
Nobody said it was an eyesore. You could only park so many days on the street, and then I put it in the driveway, and it was a little too long for the driveway. The code enforcement was really good, and I told him, you know, we're putting it in storage anyway. And he said, oh, yeah, okay, you got another week. We don't care.
They said you can't do that. He had to move it to a storage facility and leave it there, and then he's living in the shed, and quite frankly,
How's he telling people I live in a shed? No, they did have a shed out back, and I turned it into the can of hut. And I had my flags and everything up, and I do lives like this and stuff, and we sit down and talk and toke. What do you mean I'm living in a shed? Okay? And who cares if I was? I mean, complete house there, you know, toilet, laundry, family, cook, stove, whatever. Why is what I'm doing any of his business? He's got a heart on trying to get people to hate me, and I don't know why.
We just feel like the daughter just doesn't want him there. You know, she doesn't support him anywhere.
What gives him and this Shirley, that's got a teenage daughter that don't mind her own business and gets into this, what gives them the right to think what my daughter thinks whatsoever, whether she wants me or anything? See, you'll never see me until now when they talk about it. Until they say something, I never talk about them and what they say or nothing. But afterwards, you're damn right I'm going to.
Or you never see her. She never comments, never likes anything.
Why? Just like all my other friends that I told you about that are following and stuff. They've threatened everyone. Yeah, we're coming after your friends and this, that, and the other. I can show you screenshots and the voice messages and stuff. People were afraid to interact with me. My daughter don't have to interact with me here on this. She interacts with me on the messenger. And he cries how they don't love me, this, that, and the other, and whatnot. But then he'd say, well, how dare he use his daughter? She pays for his phone every month. So if my daughter didn't like me, care for me, and I was, you know, why in the world would she make sure that I had a phone every month to talk to her with?
And she hasn't done that in over a year.
See? Before, she used to make comments and likes and stuff. But after they started this bullshit, yeah, and I don't blame her. Just like I told her, and I tell all my other friends, don't comment on there. Don't feed into them. You know, talk to me a messenger. And that's what we do.
See, he tagged her in a post one time. I have a screenshot of it. It says, if you think I was abusive, then you're more than happy to get a hold of my daughter, Bobby Lopez, and he tags her in the post. All right, well, you're giving me permission, actually encouraging me to contact your daughter. That's pretty good.
You damn right I am. Anybody that wants to ask her how I was or her dad or something, you're more than welcome to contact her. She wants to contact you back, that's cool.
That goes a long way if we're in a courtroom. Oh, he's harassing. No, I'm not. He put the invitation out there and said anybody.
Ah, see, he tries to protect himself from that courtroom. No, I said you could ask my daughter, not harass her, not look up my grandkids, and not send the threats that he has.
Anybody that questions my character, please contact my daughter, and tagged her in it. And she comes in the comments and says, yeah, my dad was great.
Oh, bet that was a surprise. But yet she never answered. She never nothing. She was silent for a year, but she damn sure come back to answer that one, didn't she?
That's an open invitation to me, right? So
all he's worried about, that's an open invitation that I can harass her now. He's not worried about how she just put him to shame and proved him a liar.
We're gonna keep on this. He's not done. He's gonna go out here and lick his wounds, and we're all forgiven.
See, he admitted that I was licking my wounds and that I'd forgiven him and all, and I was gonna keep this up. No, wasn't gonna do a damn thing. They're the ones that kept it up, and like they say, they got to keep messing with me to keep it going and all. But last year when it come off the road and everything, I put everything to the, and I got baptized and all. And I walk with my Lord and Savior. And I'm not going to bear false witness against no one. No one. This liar needs to be stopped. He needs to be held accountable.
Until one of us hashtags something again, then we're all demons, whatever. But anyways, I know you're going to go do good on your court date and all that. There's a lot more information to come.
And what he's talking about, the court date, that is when she hit me with her car and stuff that she had to go to court about. Yeah, she'd never been arrested in her life before or nothing until she got involved with these people.
I have so much more to share with you. It's hard to keep up and still keep my real life. And I just got my computer back. And as soon as I hang up with you, I'm going to look into some video editing software. I think me and Steve are going to team up, and we're going to work on some things here. He can go slink off to his daughters. Even if that's what he does, I'm still not done with him. If he goes and slinks off to his daughters, I'm coming right for his family.
If I just leak off to my daughters, not do nothing, he's coming after me and my family.
I'll come right for his family. Steve doesn't want to. Steve won't cross.
Why in the F can't I get law enforcement or anything to do anything about these open threats?
Cross that line, regardless of what they've said about his grandmother and his son, which I think is disgusting.
What was said about Steve's grandmother and son was, look, if you don't leave me alone, I'll put your grandma and your son in the window. And what they do, keep pressing my buttons. But that never, ever, ever happened. There's never been his grandma or any of his sons in the windows. Yet they say that happened. Okay, why don't you show a picture or anything? I'm proud of all my windows when I do them.
Me, I guess maybe as long as Shirley doesn't see it, I have no shame. You've seen what they've done to me and my...
Oh, Mr. Roger Dodgers, I put forwarded this to the Howard County Healing Fields where he had me thrown out. I'm forwarded it to the Greenburgh Police Department. I'm forwarding it to the Greenburgh Mayor's office. I'm going to forward it to every one of them. You absolutely. And that's why I'm doing this YouTube, because I'm just going to send them the YouTube links and they can sit here and listen to it or they not. I don't care anymore. I don't care. This guy has openly threatened me, my family, and everything else, and he tells people it's because of my stupid name that no one will do nothing. And Topeka police proved that. Okay, I was reporting a hit and run with this lady in the parking lot. Go watch that video and all. They didn't put my legal name, they put my dad's name on the police report. They put a Colorado driver's license. I've never had a Colorado driver's license. I called Colorado. My dad never had one. It was a fictitious license number, according to the Colorado Police Department. So, even the police proved they don't like my name. So how do you get justice?
Family. 2 of my businesses, my girlfriend, tried to get her fired.
Did not try to get his girlfriend fired.
My family, my friends. I've had to apologize to the mayor. Could you imagine that, Rhonda? Can you imagine being a guy like me and having to walk into a small town mayor's?
Oh, he's going to have fun apologizing to that mayor this time, because the first time he went in there and told that mayor a bunch of bullshit. Now I can prove that all bullshit.
Office and apologize to the secretary because she just spent 2 months receiving phone calls and voice messages from this man. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
If they'd done their job and got a subpoena and found out who did just that auction he got, they could have cracked this case a long time ago. But it didn't mean nothing that I was being cyberbullied and harassed for all this time.
But what they've done to my family, it's not my kryptonite. It just means that when I come out, I'm coming out mean and nasty. And I am, Rhonda. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to come out mean and nasty. And, that's just the way that it is. So there's a lot more. There's a lot more, and I'm going to give all of it to you. You're going to get all of it. You're going to get all of it, as much as you want and more. That was number 4.
That was the end of number 4. Tonight, I preview number 5 on Facebook. I do my Facebook Live at 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Here it's 4:47, so just about an hour and 15 minutes from now, I'll be doing my live on Facebook. Look up 420 Jim, FOURTWENTYJIM. Follow me. Hey, and please, if you do, or just go to me Messenger. Say, hey, you said you've got friends who've been following you since such and such. I'll send you them friends' names, and you can ask them, or join my lives, and maybe we can get 1 or 2 of them to join in, and they can tell you themselves. That's what I really love. Well, my friends, I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining in. There's more than 10 parts now. She sent me more things today, so who knows how far, how long this story's going to drag out. But I'm so glad I got the proof, and the good Lord taking care of me. Hey, people, it's all about peace, love, and cannabis for all. One team, one dream, united we stand. If we try, we can all get along. My dogs, Jack and Lilu, love you. I love you, and Jesus loves you. Never forget that. Peace out. Hope to see you tomorrow.